Okay, so today is not my day, but hopefully it will be your day. I just did a whole video and didn't have my microphone on, so we're gonna do this on take two. And I was originally gonna do a project today, but it is too hot in my new garage, which is 95, 98% insulated with AC and an exhaust fan. Why? Well, I'm gonna tell you about some of my mistakes, the do's and don'ts when you're buying a metal garage, okay? So first thing first, when you get your metal garage, order insulation with the kit, okay? I had mine built, okay? There are kits you can build yourself. I had mine built, but when they build it, they will wrap your garage in insulation around all the columns and then put your exterior metal panels on, okay? One, your walls will already be insulated. Two, that insulation is between the metal panels and your metal columns. My metal columns, even though I have this, beautiful white and then on the other side it's silver reflective barrier, those columns are still emitting a lot of heat, okay? And when you add up all the columns and then you add up all the square inches into square feet, that's a lot of heat being emitted into this garage, okay? No matter what kind of air conditioning you put in here, it probably will not overcome, especially on a hot sunny day that's 90 degrees, okay, or even 80 degrees outside, but that sun is just sitting there baking on it. It's going to be a lot hotter in your garage. So if you can have it insulated, do it. If you can't afford the wall insulation at the time, at least have your ceiling insulated from the factory, okay? That is going to save you a lot of time and effort, okay? Now, I did my whole garage, the reflective insulation. I have plenty of material left over. I did 1-inch insulation on the ceiling, and that insulation actually has a reflective barrier on the other side, which was, it's part of the actual 1-inch board, for like $1,350, okay? But I did all the work myself. It has been very time consuming to do, sometimes very frustrating. I do enjoy a good project and I do enjoy being challenged, but these walls are 12 feet tall. I've got a 16-foot peak off a 10-foot ladder, okay? Yes, it can be done. I did it. And you can do it too if you want to really, really save the money. Or when they do it, at least have your ceiling insulated and then you can deal with the walls, which will be much easier, okay? If you do go with reflective barrier, you most likely, like myself, will have to now wrap the columns because the columns still emit too much heat, okay? So that is tip number one on when you're buying a metal garage. Tip number two is buy the biggest garage you can afford or you can fit on your property, okay? So I went through many designs and everything else. And the way my property is, some of my garage is actually behind my house. And if you'll notice, my door is all the way to the right-hand side, which was planned that way because I have a driveway which is going perpendicular to my house here. And that area is only 16 feet wide. But the garage has to be 6 feet off the property line. But by pushing the garage door to one side on an 18-foot garage, my garage is 18 by 30, 12-foot walls, I now have 7-8 feet on that side of the garage for storage the whole way down. Okay, so here's the storage area I have now. I have literally 7, 8 feet all the way down. I've got a workbench on the back. I've got tackle storage, rod stuff on the side. My air conditioner is back there. And it is just nice to walk and work and storage. Right here, as you saw, I have my lawnmower. I put my lawn equipment up here, which took that out of my main garage, which clears up clutter in my main garage, okay? Which leaves me more room for some more benches and woodworking stuff and whatever else, okay? Because we're gonna fill it in with something sooner or later. But if you can, even if you have the room in your yard and your door was in the middle, push it over to the right, push it over the left. It'll give you a lot more room in your garage, a usable space. If I had 4 feet on one side and 4 feet on the other side, yeah, that's nice to walk around your boat, but I only need to access my boat from one side, then I'm in the boat. I don't need both sides, and I can walk around my boat. I have a foot, foot and a half in between the boat, and I can get back there to my battery charger and all that. But if I had 4 feet on that side, 4 feet on this side, what am I really going to put there? It's kind of too small. If I put anything there now, really, I'm encroaching, moving between the boat and whatever, or whatever else I'm using this garage for. Okay, if your garage is just going to be a workshop and you're not going to store a boat or a car in here or something like that, hey, put the door where you want. Because now you have the whole area open, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to store something, store it on one side of the garage and give yourself room on the other side of the garage. You won't regret it. Okay, so electrical. All electrical in here is, you got to run MC cable, metal clad cable. So the cable has to be secured, and trying to secure it to a metal panel is really difficult because you can't put a clamp and screw it in because your screws will come out the back side. So by using a hat channel, it covers the MC cable when you're running it clear down the garage, down that direction, as you can see. So all the way down there, all the way to my different outlets, under all those hat channels are MC cable going to different outlets throughout the building. So that is a great, great way to cover and secure your electrical cable in a metal garage. Just cut it a little bit longer, and so you can bend some tabs on it, and then just one screw in each, and where the cable comes out, you just cut yourself a little slot so the cable can come down to the box, okay? And then on here, yes, you can just secure it with normal clamps. So that is a great, great way to secure your electrical in your metal garage. And that is just one of the little tips I was planning on doing here. Most of it had to do with insulation and what you can afford. Now, you can have it spray foamed. To do this garage, they quoted me $2,800. And because I did not buy the factory insulation. So that's why I ended up saying, I'm not paying $2,800, I'm gonna do the work myself. And just the ceiling, I think, was $600 for me to do the ceiling. So yeah, I saved over $2,000. I did the work myself, but it was a pain in the neck. So if you can, at least get the insulation installed when they do your roof. Air conditioning do's and don'ts, okay? Do not get yourself a dual hose unit, okay? So this is a Toshiba, it's 14,000 BTU, okay? This is actually a big building, okay? It's not, I mean, it's not huge, but these are meant for up to, I think, 700 square foot house or a room. And this is only 630 or so square feet, 640, whatever. But I have 12-foot ceilings, and the ridge goes to 16 foot. So the cubic area is way bigger. Now, I have a vent fan that I put in the sidewall that is in another video. Does it help with circulation? Yes. But if you have the vent fan going on too high, this is only pushing out so much air. If your vent fan is pulling out too much air, it's going to bring outside air from the cracks and anywhere else in your garage, especially around your garage door, and it's going to bring in the humid air, and it's going to make your garage a lot more humid. Okay, so for air conditioning, I would stick, if you're going to go with a floor model like I got, I would stick with a single hose. I still don't understand the double hose because it's bringing in hot outside air and then pushing out hot air at the same time it's trying to cool. I'm still trying to grasp that concept on what it's doing. This unit, 1 minute it puts out really cold air, next minute it's putting out cold air. This is not cold air by any means. I actually have it set on 75. I could go lower, but it's still, you know, that's just when it's going to shut off. It really doesn't put, it did put out a lot of cold air, but it's still not enough to overcome all of the metal columns that get hot when the sun hits them. So all these metal columns, I'm going to have to wrap with reflective barrier, and that will stop it. If I would have gotten the factory insulation between it, those columns I wouldn't have to worry about because they would essentially always stay room temperature or a little warm, but not as warm as bolted directly to the metal panel, because now it's getting the direct heat from those hot metal panels and pushing it into my garage, okay? The best thing is probably a big split unit, and this is an 18 by 30 garage again, and I could only recommend 18,000 or above. Now you're gonna have to get 208, 240 volt put into your garage I already have that. I don't know where I'm gonna go yet. I don't know if I'm gonna continue to see if I can work out the tricks and cover everything up and see how this goes. I do have one panel left at the top that I have to cover with the reflective barrier. I just haven't got there yet. That is the last panel in the garage. That's on the west side. So during the day, you know, that's not, you know, making any heat because the sun's coming from that direction over the garage. Only in the evenings, once the sun is on that side, it would even start to heat up that one panel. So I'm not really worried about that right now. But once I get the boat out of the way, I'll do it. So with air conditioning, I would recommend a bigger split unit. Again, you're gonna have to put more power in here, a 208 volt, 240 volt, whatever. And those units are more expensive, okay? So, you know, this was a $500 unit. It's nice, but I would definitely recommend just a single hose unit. Don't go with the double hose. That's just my personal preference after I bought this and learned a few things. I think if it recirculated the air better in here, it would keep it a little bit cooler, but it's just not doing the trick. But it's not 100% the AC's fault. It is a big, tall area, and I got to find ways to overcome it. But with that being said, hey, I hope these few tips and tricks and things to do when you purchase a metal garage, help out. Take everything with a grain of salt. This is just my personal experience, and I made decisions and choices, and I'm going to have to deal with them and do modifications to my columns and wrap things to try to get things more insulated, just because that's what I got to do. But if you can alleviate some of the stuff I'm having to do, it'll save you a lot of time in the long run, and you'll be probably much more happy about it unless you really like doing work and projects. So hey, until next time, take care and tight lines.